I used to work in banking. My monthly salary was around $1,500. On the surface, life looked good. A stable job, respectful coworkers, weekend coffee chats with friends, and monthly bonuses. But at the end of each month, my wallet was still empty. I wasn't splurging. I didn't rack up credit card debt. I wasn't out partying every night. And yet, the money was gone. The question I kept asking myself was, where did all the money go? Then it hit me. I wasn't the only one in this situation. A lot of people, even those with decent or high incomes, still live paycheck to paycheck. Not because they're reckless spenders, but because they're stuck in an invisible loop. Earn money, spend it, run out, wait for the next paycheck, repeat. Sound familiar? This is what I call the income trap, and most working professionals don't even realize they're in it. You get a raise and you upgrade your lifestyle. From street coffee to boutique cafes, from budget rideshares to premium black cars, from an older smartphone to the latest top-tier model. And just like that, you've spent it all. I call this fancy broke. You look well off, dining at restaurants, wearing designer clothes, driving a new car, but lose just 1 month's paycheck and you're wiped out. No assets generating cash flow, no backup system. Your life runs entirely on your salary, and that makes you more fragile than you think. The higher your income, the more society pressures you to spend. You're expected to dress sharp to prove your worth. Take vacations to reward yourself. Buy cars or houses that meet the standard your peers and family have set. And so you end up in a race with no finish line. That race is called, I spend money to prove my value. But here's the truth, nobody really cares. Everyone's too busy worrying about their own image. And if you don't wake up, you'll spend your whole life maintaining a financial mask. Polished on the outside, but hollow within. I used to think, once I earn more, I'll be fine. But the truth is, the more I earned, the more I spent, and I completely lost my sense of limits. When I made $800, I spent it all. When I made $1,500, same story. And if tomorrow I earn $4,000 a month, I could still burn through it all if I keep the same mindset. Here's the core issue. You're not broke because your income is low. You're broke because of how you treat money. You're broke because you define wealth as the ability to spend freely, not the ability to own assets that generate income. And here's the tough truth. You're working just to sustain your spending habit. You're not building freedom. You're not building assets. You're simply earning to spend. Like a hamster on a wheel, running endlessly, going nowhere. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. If I lost my job tomorrow, how long could I survive? If your answer is less than 2 months, then your high income means nothing. You've built no foundation. You're standing on sand. This isn't a message meant to make you feel bad. It's a wake-up call, because I've been there. I'm not judging you. I'm revealing a truth that society tries to hide. High income won't make you rich if you don't know how to keep and grow your money. That's why in the next video, I'll walk you through how the wealthy think about cash flow, why salary can be a trap if you don't use it right, and how to escape this financial loop that feels smooth, but quietly kills your freedom. You know what's the cruelest irony? The ones who earn the most money often feel the poorest inside. I once worked with a client, a CEO of a furniture company, earning over $6,000 a month. But whenever his wife brought up taking a 1-month break or investing $40,000, he'd get furious. Why? Because money passed through his hands, but never stayed. I call that the rich on paper, broken reality syndrome. You have big cash flow, but your living expenses, your image upkeep, your emotional costs, all sky high. You might be making 5 to 10 times more than others, but you're also spending 7 to 15 times more. At first, you spend to reward yourself. Then you spend to maintain your image. Then you spend to match your status. And finally, you spend because not spending makes you feel insecure. You're caught in a spiral of spending just to protect your ego. One day, I asked a participant at a workshop, "If you lost your job tomorrow, what would you live on?" He looked at me and said, "I'd just go find a new one." I told him, "That's not a plan. That's wishful thinking." And when your personal finances rely on hope, you're what I call fancy broke. According to Morgan Housel in The Psychology of Money, smart people don't get rich because of income. They get rich because they know how to keep money, and they don't need to prove it to anyone. You don't have to prove anything when you actually own assets. Only people who lack inner confidence feel the need to show off. The issue isn't that you earn too little. It's that you can't hold on to what you earn. Modern-day poverty doesn't come from a lack of opportunity. It comes from a lack of control over your financial emotions. You deserve freedom, but your habits are working against it. Think back over the last 3 months. How much did you spend on things you didn't truly need? You bought because someone else had it? You financed just to maintain an image? That answer is your financial mirror, reflecting what you truly value. Someone once asked me, "So are you saying I should live like a monk? No spending, no fun?" I answered, "No. But you must know what you're spending for. Spend to serve your freedom, not to chase someone else's expectations. You don't need to quit coffee altogether. You don't need to ditch your phone for a flip model. But you do need to realize every spending decision today is you shaping your financial self 5 years from now. If you keep thinking, "I'm young, I should enjoy life first, I'll figure it out later," then you've already signed an invisible contract. I agree to work my whole life chasing moments of temporary freedom. Truly wealthy people don't enjoy life any less than you. They just enjoy it after they've built their freedom. They don't see spending as a reward. They see the power to choose as the reward. That's the difference between the truly wealthy spend from passive income, the fancy broke spend from their paycheck. Which group are you in? If your salary stopped, would you dare to keep your current lifestyle? I once ran a small survey of over 500 people earning between $1,200 to $4,000 per month. I asked, "Are you saving at least 15% of your income every month to build assets?" Only 8% said yes. The rest, despite high income, were still letting money flow out faster than it flowed in. Why is that? Because most people who know how to make money were never taught how to keep it. We go to school for 16 years to learn how to earn, but nobody teaches us how to spend wisely, how to allocate cash flow, when to spend, and when to stop. As a result, people make money, then spend emotionally. Emotions like stress, spend; boredom, spend; comparison, spend; got a bonus, spend. And the most dangerous part is this: spending becomes a way to soothe emotional instability. When you can't control your emotions, you can't control your wallet. And when you can't control your wallet, you lose your freedom. Freedom doesn't come from earning more. Freedom comes from whether you keep your money and run it on your own terms. Many people think wealth means living in a big house, driving a luxury car, wearing high-end brands. Wrong. True wealth is not fearing job loss, not fearing illness, not waking up with financial anxiety every morning. I know people who earn just $600 a month, but they invest consistently, live mindfully, have no debt, and are building real assets. Meanwhile, others earning $4,000 a month still borrow $200 to pay their kids' school fees. The difference isn't the number, it's the mindset. One of my clients, a marketing director, once asked, "How do I start shifting from emotional spending to intentional finances?" I told him, "It's simple. Every time you reach for your wallet, ask yourself, does this make me more free or does it tie me down deeper?" Buying a $1,200 phone on a 12-month installment plan isn't wrong. But if each month you're struggling to make the payment and can't even set aside $40 to save, then you're not buying a phone, you're buying dependency. Some people say, "But I love the feeling of enjoying life, living fully." And I ask back, do you actually enjoy it, or are you addicted to the feeling of escaping reality? That's the difference between someone in control of their money and someone using money to run from life. True wealth means you choose your lifestyle without being forced by deadlines, debt, pressure, or judgment. If you're living fancy, but a single missed paycheck could ruin you, that's not wealth. That's pretend wealth. Money won't give you freedom if you can't control your habits. It's like pouring water into a leaking bucket. No matter how much you pour, it disappears. Poor people spend wrong. Fake rich people spend wrong. Only the truly free redefine how they spend. So the final question for this section is, are you earning money to live, or living just to chase the things other people think you should have? Answer that honestly, and you'll know exactly where you stand on your financial map. If you've read Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, you'll remember the 4 income quadrants that define how people earn. E, employee, work for others. S, self-employed, work for yourself. B, business owner, own a system. I, investor, money works for you. The real question isn't how much do you earn? It's which quadrant are you in? Most people start in E, salaried employees. Some move to S, freelancers or specialists who earn more. But both E and S share a dangerous trait. If you stop working, the money stops flowing. Skilled employees, top doctors, elite freelancers, still get stuck if they never move to B or I. Why? Because they're trading time for money. The moment their health dips, or they just want a break, their income collapses instantly. In contrast, people in the B quadrant, business owners, have systems that generate income even while they sleep. It doesn't need to be a giant company. Even a simple automated online business qualifies. You've detached your time from your income. That's the foundation of real freedom. Then there's the I quadrant, investor, the highest level. You don't work, your money works. From stocks and real estate to funds or startups. Every dollar you invest wisely becomes a financial employee, working for you 24/7. No complaining, no sick leave, no raised demands. The question isn't, should I quit my job? It's, am I using my salary to build assets or just to feed liabilities? If you're spending 100% of your paycheck, you're just a high-end time slave. Whether you earn $2,000 or $20,000 a month, you're still renting your life to survive. You might be hardworking, skilled, determined, but if you stay in E and S, you're running in a hamster wheel. The faster you go, the more exhausted you get, without moving forward. Only when you shift to B and I do you step outside the game and let money start coming to you. Here's an easy way to visualize it. E/S. People wake up thinking, What do I need to do today to make money? BI people wake up thinking, how's my system or portfolio performing today? One group is working to live. The other is designing systems that live on their own. I once asked a student of mine, how many income streams do you have that don't require your direct labor? The answer, none yet. I told him, then your salary isn't income, it's a subscription to life, and you're paying for it with your time. Remember this, liabilities are what take money out of your pocket. Assets are what put money into your pocket. A new phone, a financed car, the latest iPad, or luxury travel for social media. Liabilities. Anything that generates cash flow even when you're not working. Assets. From today, shift your focus. Instead of asking, how much do I earn? Ask, where is my money going and what is it producing? Because you can't become wealthy if all you do is spend without multiplying what you create. To summarize, a high salary won't make you rich. Shifting from ES to BI, that's the path out of the financial loop. If you don't have assets yet, use your salary to buy them. Don't use your paycheck to rent freedom, only to never truly experience it. T. Harv Eker calls this your money blueprint. It's the subconscious programming you carry about money. Is money good or bad? Are rich people greedy or admirable? Is spending a form of enjoyment or stupidity? Your answers to these shape your current financial reality. Everyone grows up in a different money environment. Some heard, money is the root of all evil. Some heard, money can't buy happiness. Some heard, rich people are scammers. Unknowingly, those phrases become core beliefs, silently driving how you spend, save, and invest. You might be excellent at making money, but if your blueprint says, money comes, money goes, you'll unconsciously spend it all. If your blueprint says, I don't deserve to keep a lot, you'll sabotage yourself with reckless decisions. It's like a water container. If your mind is a 1-liter jug, pouring in 10 liters still overflows and spills. If it's a 5-liter jug, you retain 5. If you don't upgrade your mental financial container, no matter how much money you pour in, it leaks out. I once coached a 28-year-old running a fashion business, pulling in $12,000 a month. Yet every 2 months, their account was wiped out. Not because of bad investments, but because every time they earned money, they had to reward themselves, treat the team, or travel to distress. Their internal blueprint was, if I have money, I must spend it to feel valuable. You won't break through your financial ceiling unless you clean up the messy beliefs in your mind. To build lasting wealth, you must rebuild your mental financial framework. Because behavior stems from mindset. Mindset stems from belief. And belief can be reprogrammed. Here are 5 common toxic money beliefs keeping people broke. The harder I work, the richer I'll be. False. You must work in the right system. Money must be spent to be enjoyed. False. True wealth is about having options, not blowing it all. I'm not rich because I'm not good enough. False. Skill with bad thinking still leads to bankruptcy. Having a lot of money is risky. False. Not having money is far more dangerous. Being rich is bad. False. Money doesn't change you. It amplifies who you already are. If you want different financial outcomes, you need to change. Your unconscious beliefs plus inner narrative plus future expectations. It's like updating your operating system. If not, you'll keep running broke apps on a brand new device, draining power producing nothing lasting. So here's the most important question you must ask yourself today. What financial beliefs am I living by right now? And where did those beliefs come from? Parents, society, or scarcity experiences? Only when you expose them can you change them. A truly wealthy person doesn't think like the average person. Average people ask, how much does this cost? Wealthy people ask, when I spend on this, am I buying freedom or buying slavery? They don't cut expenses out of stinginess. They reinvest every financial choice to reach freedom faster. If you want real financial transformation, start with one small action. Write down 3 negative money beliefs you've heard or repeated. Then rewrite each one into a stronger, empowering version. That's the first step to breaking free from old emotional spending. And remember, money that enters your mind will follow the fate of that mind. Want to keep money? Master your mind. Want to multiply money? Adopt the right thinking. If you don't reprogram your beliefs, don't blame money for never staying with you. After all the theories, examples, and mindset shifts, what truly transforms you isn't more information. It's the questions that leave you no place to hide. I call these the financial mirror questions, the ones that force you to face yourself. If you answer them honestly, you'll see exactly where you are and what you need to do next. Question 1. If you lost your main source of income tomorrow, how long could you survive? If the answer is 1 month, you're fully dependent on a single stream of income. If it's 3 to 6 months, you've got a cushion, but not freedom. If the answer is, no worries, my assets still generate income, you've reached true financial freedom. This is the simplest question, but it exposes the harshest truth. You're not free if you need money every month just to survive. You're simply a battery plugged into someone else's financial machine. Whether you earn $300 or $3,000 without assets, you're still at the bottom. Question 2. What are you really buying when you spend money? Not the item, but the emotional state behind it. Are you spending to buy a sense of confidence, a sense of safety, a break from burnout? Or are you spending to run away from yourself? If you don't know the real reason you spend, you'll be controlled by temporary emotions. And emotions don't know how to manage money. Only clear thinking and purposeful goals can protect your wallet. Question 3. What kind of asset are you building? Some people are building a house, but have no income-generating assets. Some are building a wardrobe, but no investments. Some are building a social media profile, while their financial accounts are empty. So what are you using your time and money to build? Assets aren't just land or stocks. An asset is anything that still exists when your energy is gone, still makes money when you hit pause, still grows while you're resting. It could be a business system, an investment channel, a personal brand, or a monetizable skill set. If your answer is, I don't have any assets yet, then the next question is, so, are you planning to live off your paycheck forever? Without building assets, your salary becomes a lifelong chain. You're living on money, but not living in freedom. These 3 questions aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to wake you up. You can't drive far if you don't know where you are, how much fuel you have, and which direction you're heading. Personal finance is the same. If you don't measure, you can't change. I once answered no to all 3 questions above. I spent money to bury fear. I didn't know what an asset was. I panicked at the thought of losing my main income. But those exact questions were what pushed me to begin the path toward real financial freedom. You don't have to say your answers out loud. Just write them down and face them head on. Write them honestly, no sugarcoating. Then from there, you'll know what to cut, what to keep, and what to invest in. Every financial roadmap starts from one place, being honest about where you are. You don't need to read 10 more books. Just do this. Every week, sit down and revisit these 3 questions and answer them honestly. If I lose my income, how long can I survive? What emotions am I buying with my money? What real assets am I building? Do that for 12 weeks and your life will shift direction. You've made it to the end of this video. If you're still here, something inside you is already shifting. Maybe it's a small fear, maybe it's a spark of clarity, or maybe it's just the quiet knowing that you deserve more than a life where your paycheck disappears the moment it lands. Financial freedom isn't a luxury, it's a life strategy. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how you shape your cash flow. It's about the power to design your life instead of just reacting to it. I'm not here preaching that you should quit your job or stop spending completely. I'm simply saying, if you're not building assets, then you're building a future burden for yourself. Freedom doesn't just show up. It comes from small choices, repeated consistently. You can start today with just a few small actions. Cut one meaningless expense. Track this month's cash flow. Revisit the 3 financial mirror questions. Open a separate account solely for asset building. Start small. But the right behavior, repeated long enough, becomes an asset. You might be thinking, I'm not good enough to invest yet. Good. That means you're at level 1. It's time to wake up and master your cash flow. Don't scatter your focus. Just concentrate on learning one skill that generates income or building one small system. And stop blaming society, the government, or anyone else. Because here's the truth, no one's coming to save you. Freedom, you either create it yourself or you'll spend your whole life waiting for permission. And at the end, you'll be left with one regret. I wish I'd started sooner. If you've made it this far, you're not average. Average people scroll. Average people like and forget. Average people say, I'll deal with it later. But you stayed. So make your first decision now. Comment, I choose financial awakening. Then tag one friend you care about who's spending money the wrong way. We don't change the world with theory. We change it with small, repeated, intentional action. And if you want to go further, go deeper, and personalize your financial journey, I've built a dedicated mentor bot system just for that. Or you can join the private group where I share real-world case studies and lessons you won't find in books. But only if you're truly ready. Not everyone gets invited. Not now. Only when you prove it through action. Financial freedom doesn't start with money. It starts with the awareness that you control your life. If you can't control your money, you won't control your time. And if you don't control your time, you're living someone else's life. I've failed. I've been broke, lost, and convinced I wasn't good enough to be rich. But the truth is, you don't need to be special to be free. You just need to move in the right direction and want it badly enough. And if you're reading this final line, there's one thing I want to tell you. You deserve a life where money is no longer a worry. Not to show off, but so you can finally live, truly live, on your own terms. And that journey starts with this video.